And today I was tasked to share with you a bit of wisdom, the juice from my leadership journey in Toastmasters. You know, International Director Elisa Tai is a very close friend of mine. And as the saying goes, what are friends for? So you know why I'm here today, instead of relaxing and sitting down. Well, today this will be short and simple because we don't have much time. But first, I would like to ask one or two persons here this question. Why are you serving as a district leader? And before you frame any answer, I would only like to hear 3 to 4 words and make it very personal. I don't want the altruistic answers like serving or giving back. Something that's personal to you. So this question, why are you serving as a district leader? Any volunteer or I will volunteer you? Anyone?
Okay, just 3 E's. It's enabling, enriching, and empowering.
Okay, that's your personal goal. Okay, that's also very good. Any other response? Why do you want yes? Our district director from District 18.
Okay, it's very personal. It's to be more courageous.
To be more courageous.
Yes.
Okay, so I will ask another one. The last one. Anyone? Desmond. Desmond is a member of my club also. His club.
What I would like to serve the district is usually very simple and straightforward. I joined Toastmasters because of my family members, especially my children. Because what I'm doing well, I would like my children to be the same. I would like them to be the Toastmaster members as well.
Thank you. All your responses are very valid. But there is one thing that I would like to maybe tell you from my own perspective, and that is to prove yourself. To prove yourself as a leader and as a catalyst to the members. When you undertake an endeavor or a task, assume a responsibility, the next level, the next step is to fulfill that responsibility, right? And corollary to that is your desire to excel. After that, you reap your rewards and learn your lessons. That's a leadership journey. That's standard in all leadership journey. So let me get to my first point. Prove yourself. The reason why you're here, whether you're a volunteer, you were convinced, you were persuaded, you were accidentally assigned as district leader, in your heart, you know that you want to prove yourself, right? You have to prove yourself. If you're sitting here as a district leader, nothing else. You have your responsibility to yourself. And corollary to that is your desire to excel. Excellence should be a standard, a habit of a leader. Mediocrity should not be in your vocabulary. Never think of being a mediocre leader, because at the end of the day, isn't it nice to claim that you have proven yourself? On hindsight, would it be good to say that I have done well? Because most of you will not be serving again, right? Tell me if you want to serve again after becoming a district director. There will be one or two, of course. Let me know the name.
You're right, yes.
Here, what is in. Okay? But of course, when you excel in your leadership journey, you have proven yourself. And it will be good to say, I have done well. When you think about it, if you, like Desmond, you want to show your children, I have done well, I have proven myself. And that is your actions always speak louder than words to your peers, children, to your family, or to your fellow leaders. And before you know it, at the end of your term, it will be very fast. Like now it's August, September coming next, and you just have 9 months to go. You reap your rewards. Leadership is very rewarding. Whatever you do, it will scar you with good things, good lessons. I say scar. Why scar? Because leadership is not a walk in the park, right? Who will say that it is a walk in the park? No, you have to work hard for everything that you are doing. And nothing comes easy. But leadership is that kind of thing because it is something that you have to inculcate and ingrain in yourself. And let me tell you 2 things that to remind you while you are doing this leadership job. First, plan your work and work your plan. If you don't have any plans, like what you have to write on your vision board, what are you going to do? What are your goals? How are you going to monitor your goals? And you have to work on it. If you don't do anything and just look at your vision board, what happens? Nothing, right? Leaders must always be caring for numbers. I know some leaders here do not like to look at numbers, but numbers will always be your thermostat for how your district is growing and how your members are achieving. The numbers will be there, no matter how much you don't like it. But look at it in the way that it will be your thermostat, as I say. When you have your AC, you can put it to high, low, or medium. When you are on a high note, then that means it's very cold, or either when it's a heater, it's very warm. And that's the intensity and passion that you have to absorb in yourself. Second point, people will be your greatest asset, right? You're a leader because you have people you have to influence and to inspire. There will be an endless paradigm of people, of the kind of people around you. And believe me, there are those who will be cooperative, there are those who will be contributory to your goals, but there will be people who will be disagreeable also. Those who will be distractions. But whatever happens, a leader must always adapt, move on, and focus on what matters. So remember, your leadership will be a journey that will make and reap your rewards. Learn your lessons, whatever it is. So I always tell, whenever I'm asked to speak, always remember that you will pass this way once. As CGD, as PQD, as District Director. And let it be a journey filled with success, lessons, and memories. And you might not be able to go back. Time flies and it doesn't recover, right? So in ending, since we don't have much time, I'd like to give you the 3 lessons from water, which I applied and I learned from a Chinese teacher. Maybe some of you have heard this. The 3 lessons first is humility. Water flows on the ground, right? The stream, the river. So a leader must always be grounded. You must clip your ego for your fellow leaders and your members. You cannot be high up there and fly your wings. You have to be grounded. Second, harmony. Water flows continuously. And when it encounters rocks, what does it do? It just continues to flow without disturbing the rocks, right? In the same way, a leader must always learn to adapt to disagreeable circumstances and come out with positive results. That's why there's the conflict management. But a leader must always be rational and understand all the sides of people who are talking, who are disagreeing, and even agreeing. And the third, openness. You must be open. Water in different temperature becomes solid, liquid, or gas. A leader must always be open-minded, open to adapt to things, people, and circumstances that surround him. Because that is the only way you can be an effective leader. So at the end, I think these 3 lessons from the water will help you in your leadership journey. So I hope you'll be able to prove yourself, excellence to become your motto, and reap your rewards at the end of your leadership journey. So I'm sure that the lessons from water will enhance your leadership path and even in your life. So I'd like you, Region 9 leaders, to go out there, multiply your members, achieve and reap your rewards.